This week we're making Khao Soi, which is a curry from the northern part of Thailand. The recipe I'm going to be using is from Mark and Tan. They're contestants on My Kitchen Rules 2025, an Australian cooking show. All through last year, I cooked a lot of dishes from this show, but this year I wasn't actually going to do it. But when I watched the show and they made this dish, I knew I had to give it a go. It wasn't a 10 out of 10 from the judges, and I want to know why. So I'm going to follow their recipe to the T, that's online, and we'll see what score I give it. So in this recipe, we're going to be making our own curry paste, and also we're going to be making some fresh noodles. One of the signature parts of the Khao Soi is the noodles. You boil some and you fry some for a little crispy garnish on top. So the Khao Soi is a curry. It's a nice smooth curry. It's not too chunky. The only chunks in it is the chicken legs and the noodles. And maybe a little bit of spring on it if you count that, but the sauce itself, nice and smooth. Usually when I go buy ingredients that I can't find typically in the normal supermarket in Austria, I got to go to an international supermarket. And usually they just sell things like lemongrass and lime leaves in these big packets, and I have to buy a whole bunch, and I don't typically use these ingredients, so sometimes they go bad in the fridge. But I was at Prozzy International Supermarket the other day, which is in Vienna, and I found this little pack with some lime leaf, galangal, lemongrass. Now they market this for tom yum, but it's got quite a few things that I need in there for the Khao Soi. So to start off, we're going to make the curry base, which involves all of this. In here goes some toasted coriander seeds, some coriander roots and stem. We got some galangal, garlic, shallot, some little Thai red chilies, lemongrass, just the white part. Also some shrimp paste. Gonna add some peanut oil. Now we pop the lid on and blend this into a nice smooth paste. Always remember to scrape down the sides halfway through. You want to get it all incorporated. Okay, now you've blended your curry paste all nice and smooth, you're going to get it into a pan. Now you want to have this on a medium-low heat, and you just want to stir it around and cook it out for about 5 minutes. So after you've cooked off your paste for about 5 minutes, it should look a little something like that. This is not burnt on the bottom, this is just nicely caramelized, which is okay. So now we're going to add in some chicken stock. We're going to give that a little stir in, and we're also going to add in coconut milk. And as this comes up to a simmer, we're going to get all that nice fond that we built up, scraped up off the bottom. Just going to bruise up the lime leaf, and we're going to throw those in as well. As this is coming up to a simmer, we're going to add in a few more things, which is some brown sugar, some fish sauce, some soy sauce, some ground cardamom, some ground turmeric, and some yellow curry powder. So I'll go ahead and get that all stirred in. Now I should also mention here that the recipe I'm using, it's Tan's family recipe. Now in the show, they have said that they own a restaurant, and I'm assuming that this is from the restaurant. So this recipe, it wouldn't be used in their home. I think they would have a different recipe that they'll cook at home, because this one is more inclined to be made in big batches, which is why I'm assuming they're using the ground cardamom and the ground turmeric and all that sort of good stuff. Because in a big restaurant setting, it just makes it easier if you use the powdered stuff, which is why I think they're using it here. All right, now we've got this sauce up to a simmer. We're going to plop in our chicken legs. Now the batch I'm making is for 4, so that's going to be 8 chicken legs. Because when I was researching some other recipes, it's always 2 chicken legs that they serve. Me personally, I'd probably eat 4 of these myself, but that's just me. Alright, now we're going to partially cover this and let those chicken legs cook for about 45 minutes. Now we're going to make the noodles. But I'm going off script because he made his by hand, and I'm going to be using my trusty stand mixer because it's easier. Right, into the bowl of the stand mixer, we're going to bust in 3 eggs. And we're going to give them a light mix together. Just break them up a little bit. To that, we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And we're going to add in some flour. That's going to be 450 grams of a high protein flour. Pop it on the stand mixer, we close it down, and we start mixing. The reason why I put the eggs in first is because I think it incorporates a lot better in a stand mixer when you put the liquids on the bottom and the dry on top. That's just a personal thing. You can put them in whatever order you like. That's how I like to do it. Now, if yours is still super floury and it's not coming together, all eggs are different sizes. So if you need to, just add a splash of water in at a time until it comes together. Once your dough's all come together, you're going to get it out the bowl, plop it down your work surface, and then you're just going to bring it together into a nice smooth ball by hand. Because I don't think the stand mixer will be able to get it into a nice smooth ball. You want to get some plastic wrap, and you just want to wrap it up. Let it stand there on the kitchen counter for about 20 minutes. Dough's been resting for about 20 minutes. Now we're going to cut it into quarters. The bits that we're not using, put in the cling film for the time being. And we're going to be working with this bit here. Put a bit of flour on there. With our stand mixer, we're going to roll this out. Then we just feed it through on the largest setting. I like to feed it through twice. Right, now I don't know if this is totally necessary, but I feel like I need to do it because I do it every other time I make pasta. Give it a little fold and put it back through the machine. Make sure you got plenty of flour on the outside because I've gotten dough stuck in this roller before and it's not fun cleaning it out, trust me. As I said, I like to feed it through twice on the first one, and now we're just going to go down in stages and keep rolling this dough out until it's about 2 millimeters thick. You want it a bit thicker than regular Italian pasta. Okay, if you're keeping score at home, I went to number 5 on my Kenwood mixer. Now I'm just going to cut it into some lengths, about that long. Don't get too caught up for all the same length, because some of these we're going to cut up and we're going to be frying in some oil, so it'll be fine. Okay, so we'll hit them all with a little bit of flour, front and back. Don't be scared of too much flour at this point. Most of it's going to come off in the boiling or the frying process, so it won't be actually in the dough. It's going to be fine. So I have my fettuccine cutter attachment on the stand mixer. And it's simple enough. We're just going to feed the pasta through. And we cut up some nice pasta. Okay, so the chicken's been cooking away for about 50 minutes at this point, and it's cooked perfectly. So I've got all my chicken removed. I'm just going to let this keep simmering away here on a medium-low heat, just to reduce a little bit more. So I've had this just reducing for about 5 minutes. Now I'm going to take this off of the heat while we get the rest of the stuff ready. So I've got some oil up to frying temperature, which for me is around anywhere between 160, 170 degrees Celsius. Then we're just going to drop in some of our noodles and fry them up crispy. So it doesn't take too long. When you got a little bit of colour on them, and they look like that, go ahead and remove them to a paper towel lined plate. As soon as you remove them from the oil and on the plate, hit them with some salt. Okay, before I finish cooking off these noodles here and finishing the dish off, I'm just going to finish this sauce off. You're just going to give it a taste. This is going to be amazing. I can already tell. For me, it's lacking a lot of salt. So I'm going to add just a little bit more fish sauce, which is going to bring a little bit more salt to it and a bit more funk. And I'm going to add in some salt. So we'll get that mixed in, and then we're just going to go ahead and taste and adjust as we see fit. You could add any one of the things you've added in here already. Bit more sugar, bit more soy sauce. Just add what you think it needs until it tastes really good to you. Okay, so I've got some water up to a boil here. Now, simple enough. Going to add your noodles straight in. Now I'm going to cook these for about 2 minutes. Minute and a half to 2 minutes. I'll let you know how long it actually takes. So my noodles are in there for 2 minutes. Now we're going to take them out. Now to plate up's pretty simple. Noodles go in the bottom. Then we're going to put in a couple of drumsticks. Then we ladle in some of our broth. And a couple of the crispy noodles go on top. And we finish it off with some lime, some spring onion, and some coriander leaves. And if it's still not hot enough for you, we'll put a little bit of the thinly sliced chilli on the side there. Usually I'm not a big fan of soups and such, but this lime has no freaking juice. See if this quarter's any better. So, after struggling here for a little bit to try and get some lime juice all over the place, because obviously these limes suck. From half a lime, I think I got 2 drops. It should be alright though. We'll battle on regardless. Usually I'm not the biggest fan of soups and things, but I don't know why this dish caught my interest so much. It just looked so damn good. Man, according to the judges, it wasn't even a 10 out of 10 dish. Let's see how these noodles and this sauce turned out. Oh yeah. Today the weather's not been so great outside. Kind of rainy, thunderstormy. This dish, it kind of warms you from the inside out. Absolutely perfect. Coconut, got some funk from the fish sauce happening. Let's see how this chicken goes. Perfectly cooked. Not mushy. Comes straight off the bone though. I have no idea what those judges are smoking. This dish is absolutely amazing. Everything about this dish absolutely works. This is 10 out of 10 in my opinion.